here we are in the Moon River Brew House. Another episode of BeerAmerica.tv. I am Paul Leone with
John Pinkerton.
And home away from home for you, so you're feeling pretty comfortable.
Oh yeah.
There's a bed like over here in the corner that you can't see normally.
I just crawl into the mash tun and
Yeah.
just snuggle up with my
Yeah.
stainless steel.
The sweet smell of beer brewing. So today we've got a kind of a good beer I've been looking forward to bringing to you, and I know that not everybody can get this beer, but we were recently at, we'll talk about where we were at recently.
We were at the Atlanta Brewing Company for the Atlanta Cask Ale Tasting, which is a fine event that Owen Ogletree puts on. He's the guy that does the Classic City Beer Festival in Athens every year. And this has been an ongoing event and for a number of years now. And it's great. How many casks do you think we had?
There were 21, or I think there were more than 21. I'm not sure. There were 20-something casks.
I thought somebody had said something like approaching 40 or something.
Maybe there were. I don't know. I don't remember.
There's a bunch of cask ale.
And we shot a lot of video there. Actually, we did a whole thing there, and I hope to get that up on the site soon. If you're watching this a year down the road, hopefully it's there.
Oh,
you can go back to it. But I'll get to it. It's actually a pretty good video. But what we're getting to, as we're talking about this, is we were at the Atlanta Brewing Company, and I had not had any of the beers before, and so I had said, what's your flagship beer? And it is the Red Brick beer. And I'm a big fan of these styles of beer. They call it a brown ale, full-bodied Southern ale. And I tasted it, and I fell in love with it right away. Thought it was excellent beer.
Because it's a little bit on the malty side?
Maybe
Being
so.
the malt man that you are?
Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. But I really like this beer. And you've had it before. A lot of people have had this before. And even being in Savannah, you know, I don't know why I haven't had it. I've had Sweetwater beers before, but I've not had Atlanta Brewing Company beers before.
They've been around for a while.
Yeah.
In this market, they kind of sort of petered out for a while, but they seem to be coming back, you know, with some strength. So
Sure.
I'm excited to taste this as well. We had a really good time, not only tasting the cask ales there, but of course sampling some of Atlanta Beer Brewing Company's wares.
Yeah, they were very generous, and I appreciate that. And the brewmaster.
And I think I had Big Dave.
Exactly, Big Dave. That's what
McClure, Dave McClure.
And Big Dave hooked me up with some beers to bring back, and I thank you for that. And the reason why I called it the flagship beer, because it was the first beer that they produced, and they've been doing it since 1993. So I didn't realize that they had been in the game that long as well. I mean, for a while.
Wow, yeah, 1993, huh?
Yep, 1993.
Goodness, they have been around for a while.
It's a pretty beer. I mean, if you want to look at it.
It's a beautiful color. They call it a brown ale, but it's got a nice ruby red.
Kind of a copper, yes?
Deep copper, ruby red.
Yeah.
It's kind of what I would call that. Very malty. Very malty. Very forward, kind of toasty, nutty malt character.
Yeah.
It's got you written all over it, doesn't it?
It does. And as they say on the, as they say it on their website, when I was doing a little research, that it has a little bit of chocolate and coffee notes, and I do taste that. You know, it's like I think that, and it's subtle, but it's an excellent beer.
Yeah, I definitely get sort of just a touch of something dark like that, like a chocolate malt or something along those lines. And it almost, to me, has kind of like a Breeze Victory Malt kind of character or something. I don't know if they're using Breeze Victory Malt or not, but it has that real kind of, the Victory is almost like super Munich or something.
I'll put the malt right down here. See the bottom of the screen here? I'll slide that whole thing
so you can,
over. Yeah, I'll do
so
a little,
you'll
I'll
see whether I'm just
research.
completely talking
right,
about
but I'll try to put something here, like we don't know what we're talking about or something, but look, right here, right now. Look, there it is.
All right.
I'll put something there.
But either way, very forward malt flavor. Not a whole lot of hop character. Not necessarily a bitter beer by any means, but it's there. It's enough to be balanced. Because this is a fairly full-bodied beer.
Sure.
If it was completely devoid of bitterness, it would just be kind of flabby and just wouldn't have that structure. But they've done a nice job with this one. This one is just kind of spot on.
Do you know that if you have when they say there's a hint of chocolate and coffee, do they actually put a little bit of those or do they put a little bit of that in it? Or is it a matter of how they combine the malts and I mean...
Well, the answer to that question is yes. By and large, when we talk about chocolate or coffee characteristics, we're talking about malts that imbue a beer with those qualities. But of course, there are beers now being brewed with coffee.
Right.
There are beers being brewed with chocolate.
Well, that's why I asked the
cocoa.
question.
So I would say 9 times out of 10 when a brewer talks about hints of coffee or carob or this or that, or anytime they're using other descriptive terms, often they're usually using them just for the purpose of description and not necessarily because it's in there. Usually, if it's in there, they will say, we put
right.
this, that, or the other
1
in
pound
the beer.
of coffee for every,
Exactly,
right,
yeah. I mean, we really, from a marketing standpoint, I mean, you really want to be specific about,
Sure.
especially if it's something exciting,
Sure.
But yeah, this is a lovely beer.
Yeah, if you can get this beer, it's one I certainly recommend. And I, like I said, I felt sort of embarrassed being there and never having had their beers before. And I was really impressed.
You should be embarrassed.
I was embarrassed, actually. I was. I felt bad about it. But they made sure that I tried them all. So I did get to try.
I was only there for like a half an hour, and I think I tried them all.
I think you did, yeah, actually. But that's all right. It's kind of your job,
Well, sort of, kind of. I was very late, and I have to say to Dave Weil, I'm sorry I didn't make it to see your band that night. We went out and got some dinner, and I was just completely zonked.
And I was a taxi driver, and you're like, dude, let's go. And I'm like, no, let's go home. So it was my fault.
Yeah,
my fault.
I think I passed out in the car anyway, so what are you going to do?
Designated driver, we are responsible at BeerAmerica.tv.
Indeed. And we advocate that in a very serious tone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Please
Absolutely.
drink responsibly.
But Atlanta Brewing Company, if you can get it, go to their website, check them out, and find out where you can get their beers, because I think they're certainly worth trying, especially since they've been around for as long as they've had. I mean, they're not new to the whole scene.
And they're a lot of fun to hang out with.
Yeah, they are a lot of
They're
fun.
good
Those
guys.
are good people over there, good peeps. And they moved into a new building and got a whole bunch of stuff there. So it looks
they're
like
looking good right
they have
now.
plenty of room to grow.
Won
So
some awards and
yeah.
recently. And
Yep.
impressive. Thanks, guys.
Impressive. So if you need to get a hold of us, Paul at BeerAmerica.tv, and
Pink at BeerAmerica.tv.
don't be shy about sending your beers breweries, because we're happy to talk about them. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, podcasting now on iTunes. Subscribe. Yes, there you go. That's a big one. I'm very happy about that.
You
one.
need to catch up with this technology.
You do need to catch up with it. Yeah.
Do you have to have an iPod?
No, heck no. Just iTunes. Anybody on iTunes, subscribe to the podcast. It's going to cost you nothing. It's absolutely free. So,
And apparently you can hook it up to your TV and
Absolutely,
run it on
yep.
a 42-inch screen LCD TV
Absolutely.
if you want.
And finally, with that, before we close, there's a little button right up here in this corner to put your email address in. Do that. That way, every time we come out with a new video blog, you can get alerted to it, so you don't need to check back every day, although I'd like you to check back every day. But the free alerts are great, because you just get an email, right, saying, hey, new
very
video
simple.
up.
That's how I know that the videos are up.
Exactly, I know, because you're brewing beer all day. So there you go. And you're waiting for 2 babies to come. So,
Berries.
yeah.
Here's the Pinker Twins.
Hey, Pinker Twins, Atlanta Brewing Company.
Cheers.
Very nice beer. Red Brick. Excellent. Cheers.